Today, I will be beating 100 demons in Geometry Dash, ranging from easy demons to platformer levels, and at the end, I'll be completing 9 circles, a hard demon that took days of my life to beat. After 200 hours and 4 videos on Geometry Dash, I've only completed 59 demons, meaning we've got a long way to go. But what better way to start the grind by completing the brand new event level that literally released 5 minutes ago. But as you'll see very soon, I discovered an insane glitch to get tons of demons for free. But for now, let's complete the event level. But for the first couple minutes, I was struggling to get past 15%, and after dying to 14% twice in a row, I wanted to know what the community was saying about this level. OMG, I already want to KMS. But hearing the hate comments surprisingly motivated me even more to beat the level, and after 5 minutes, I got a 46% run. Then 15 minutes later, I got a 68% run. I kept thinking to myself, how is this an easy demon? This gotta be at least a medium demon. But about 20 minutes after that 68% death, I got a run where I got past 68%, the boss fight at 75%, and reached the final section of the level. Let's go! You fear nothing completes 60 demon difficulty levels in normal mode. But as I completed the 60th demon, the 9 circles gauntlet was about to begin. Every time I hit a demon milestone, I'll be completing a hard level that'll help me towards my journey to 9 circles. But before I started Demon 61, I simply wanted to check out the past event levels. But you see, this is where I discovered the first of many glitches in this video. Wait, resonate? Wait, why is it medium demon now? Why does it say I didn't even complete the level? I just completed the level, no? It still says I've 60 demons, so what's going on? Wait, so can I just complete the level again? Wait, let me just try this level. Wait, so if I complete this level again, will it count as a demon completed? I don't even know, I might have to test this. Okay, if I can even beat the level.
5 minutes later.
Wait, these are pretty warm, collect 2,500 stars. I got stars from that. 61 demons, it worked. I was able to beat the same level 2 times and it gave me 2 demons. Yo, this is insane. After this, I want to check out if the glitch also worked with medium demons, but RobTop was at this point 2 hours late into releasing the weekly demon. But as time was passing, my fingers were starting to get cold, so in the meantime, I played some easy demons. And the first one was Platinum Adventures, famous for being one of the easiest demons in the game. So after only a couple minutes, I died at 96%. But because this level was so easy, I was able to beat it only a couple minutes later. After this, I wanted to check if RobTop released the weekly demon, and to my surprise, he actually released it, but it's a medium demon. But I was still dedicated to beating the level to see if the glitch will work. But after only a couple attempts, I realized that this is not what I signed up for. My brain was already fried from the event level, so I quit the level with intentions of never going back to it. Hard weekly demon, haven't seen you in a while? Exactly, bro. So I went back to what works, which is completing really easy demons. Between demons 63 and 66, my favorite one was Square Dash because it is very unique and not overcomplicated. But that was demon 66, so that means next up was demon 67, and just because this is a funny number, I decided it'd be the second big milestone in the 9 circles gauntlet. This is the level Portal, a wave only level that's made only from portals. The largest issue with this level is that the hitboxes are absolutely horrible, which is why this level earned the medium demon difficulty. If you guys have watched my other Geometry Dash videos, you'll know that wave is one of my worst game modes, which is why I was surprised that I got 57% after only 5 minutes. But only a couple minutes later, I got an even better run where I passed 57% in this crazy memorization section. So as I was approaching the final section, I paused the game to catch my breath, and this happened. All right, so the final section, bro. We gotta lock in right here. Come on. No! 87%! But this is where things started to go downhill. You see, this level requires a lot of spamming, and after playing the level for 20 minutes, my hands were starting to hurt. So as time was passing, I was playing worse and worse. After an hour, I still hadn't gotten a new best. So I took a break, did a quick goon, and when I came back on one of my first attempts, I reached the final section again, and this happened. But on the exact next attempt, I entered my villain arc. I flew through the level and eventually reached the final section for my 3rd time. Will I actually be able to beat it? Well, this happened. I beat it! I beat it! I beat it! Oh yeah! So that means I've beaten the second milestone in the 9 circles gauntlet. On my journey to 70 demons, I completed a bunch of easy demons, only taking me 20 minutes each. So fast forward a couple hours and I'm now at 69 demons, which means we've unlocked the third milestone in the 9 circles gauntlet, which is I Spy with my little eye. This level is great because it'll help me practice with flashy decoration, which is something very common in 9 circles. I actually already have 73% on this level, but the final section is the hardest part of the entire level. One of my favorite parts of the level was this boss fight. Like, I honestly think this is one of the best boss fights in Geometry Dash history. Do you guys agree with this? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, after 20 minutes of playing the level, I finally got a new best of 80%. But only a couple attempts later, I got 80% again. I mean, they say third time's the charm. Surely it'll work, right? Oh wow, it actually worked. But yeah, this level has absolutely insane decoration, definitely in my top 3 favorite levels of all time. Let's go! I Spy with my little eye! Hey, like the devil, complete 70 demon difficulty levels. After completing that level, I'm now at 25,000 orbs. So what does that mean, you ask? Well, I can now buy a path for 25,000 orbs. Paths are basically like the battle pass from Fortnite. So with that, I think I'm gonna buy my first path, the Path of Fire. Let's go! Path of Fire, unlock the Path of Fire. With the Path of Fire, I'll be unlocking a couple extra achievements along the way. Now, on my journey to 80 demons, I headed over to TikTok to find what are the easiest demons in the game, and I found some insanely easy demons. The first one I want to mention is this level Equinox, which has a secret way all the way from 20% to 100. Then I found the level Living Open, which is surprisingly a medium demon because it is just a redecorated Deadlocked. Like, if you've completed Deadlock before, you can easily beat this level. But while going through this level, I noticed that my wave has definitely gotten better, which is something I'm gonna need for 9 circles. But yeah, this level literally took me 5 minutes. Overall, demons 71 to 79 were super easy thanks to the help of TikTok. But that means that we now reached the 4th milestone, which is How to Spider. You might ask, how can a platformer level possibly help me towards my journey to 9 circles? Well, I'm taking a small break from all these fast-paced levels so that I can avoid burnout. You know, burnout is one of the biggest reasons why people quit this game. But after basically 2 minutes, I was able to make it all the way to the final room in the entire level. No! I didn't see that spike, bro. Okay, I'm not gonna miss the spike this time. Did I get it? Oh, I beat it! Complete 80 demon difficulty levels and reach Path of Fire rank 1. Wow, that was a really long break. Psych, for demons 81 to 89, we're playing only platformers. So I booted up the 81st demon, and this is what the final section looked like. The first few platformer levels were going great, and I even received an achievement for collecting 100 moons. But the more platformer levels I played, the worse they were getting. For demon number 87, I was attempting this level, and after nearly 10 minutes, I was still only 25% of the way through the level. I was gonna keep playing anyways, but that's when I got this big fall, which made me quit the level. But I kept pushing through the platformer levels, and eventually I reached demon number 89. But this final level was unique from the rest, and was actually very interesting. You see, you play as a pogo stick, and your goal is to bounce your way through the level. How was this even Geometry Dash? I easily bounced my way through the first few rooms, but the final 3 were very hard. For this first one, I was stuck in this gap for a whole 10 minutes until I finally escaped and beat the room. For the second last room, you have to bounce your way into this small gap. I failed over and over for 5 minutes until I managed to squeeze my way into the gap and beat the room. Meaning, I'm on to the last room and oh wait, I already died. The final room took all the hard parts from all the previous levels and slapped them all together. But after only 2 minutes, I got this attempt where I almost died to these spikes but clutched up last second. Then I flew through this really tight gap, then entered this hallway where I changed my direction and beat the level. Overall, most of the platformer levels I played were pretty trash, but honestly, this was a W level to end it off. But that means we're moving on to the final milestone towards my journey to 9 circles, and for the 90th demon, I'll be completing Problematic, my first ever 9 circles themed level. This is what will truly prepare me for 9 circles. I spent the first 45 minutes in practice mode where I died over and over, but after 400 attempts, I finally got a 60 to 100% run, so I decided to try my luck in normal mode. After dying a lot in the starting sections, I finally made it to the beat drop and died right away. But then only a couple attempts later, I got this insane fluke. Oh my gosh, I actually beat it. 9 circles of hell and Blaze Adept. What a fluke, bro. I think I just fluked it from 30%. Bruh, how did I just fluke that? Is 9 circles really gonna be that easy? But before I attempt 9 circles, I have to complete demons 91 through 99, but I was gonna do something special. I was gonna attempt to beat the top 10 most downloaded easy demons. I've already completed 6 out of the top 10, so I only have 4 demons left to complete, and the first one was X with 61 million downloads. Going into this, I was hoping that it wouldn't take me too long, but after 30 minutes of practice mode, I got a 50 to 100% run, so I started the level in normal mode. After only a couple of minutes, I got a run all the way to 66%, meaning I've got the level down to 2 runs. I just need to combine them now. But for the next 10 minutes, I didn't make any progress and continuously died in the starter sections. But soon after, I got a new best of 69%. But on attempt 384, I locked in. I flew through the first few sections and eventually reached the part where I died before. Last time I died here because I didn't drop down to this platform as the robot. But this time, I wasn't gonna make the same mistake. But once I passed the wave section, I got nervous and accidentally jumped too early. But to my surprise, I barely made it to the next platform and went on to beat the level. But as I was going for the next demon, Death Moon, the unthinkable happened. My footage glitched. I don't know why, but it looks like it was recorded on a toaster. But I ended up beating Death Moon in around 30 minutes. So now I only have 2 demons left in the top 10, but at this point, I still didn't know that my footage was glitching, so I completed the final 2 levels with toaster quality. But just like that, I've now completed the top 10 most downloaded easy demons. Now I'm at 95 demons completed, and for my 96th demon, I went back to the platformer levels and played the level Would You Rather. This level was honestly pretty fun, and once I beat it, I received an achievement for collecting 70 user coins. For my 97th demon, I played the level DJ, which was honestly very fun and well decorated. In the end, it only took me 10 minutes to complete. But for my 98th and 99th demons, I revisited the gauntlets to test the glitch all the way back from the start of the video. I wanted to see if I can complete the same level twice and get 2 demons from it. Once in the gauntlets and another time regularly. Of course, this level was insanely decorated because it's a gauntlet level, but that meant that the gameplay was fairly easy. After only 10 minutes, I somehow fluked the level all the way to the final section. That's when this happened. But only a couple minutes later, I reached the final section again, and this time I actually beat it. Alright, so I just completed the first level in the Galaxy Gauntlet, right? And I want to see, if I search up the level, will it say it's completed? Oh! So I can beat this level again and it'll still count as a demon, just like the event level. Man, once I beat this level, it means we're moving on to 9 circles. And I don't know if I'm prepared for it. I'm kind of nervous. Yo, first try! Look at that, man, only 1 attempt. So now I'm at 99 demons, which means it's time for 9 circles. Going into day 1 of this grind, I started out with some practice mode. Every day, I'll be doing exactly 1,000 attempts. Some people online said that it took them over 10,000 attempts to beat 9 circles, meaning I might be here for over a week. Eventually, I beat the level after 428 attempts in practice mode. Not good. But I didn't let this discourage me, and I started completing runs to 100. I first started with an 80 to 100% run, and after only 30 attempts, I completed it. Next was a 72 to 100% run, and this one took me a little bit longer to do. The run consists of the upside down mini wave, the dual mini wave, and the final cube section. This run took me about 80 attempts to do. But next up was 60 to 100%, and this one took me a lot longer. This run adds on the normal mini wave section. At this point, the runs were starting to get insane, as I have to be perfect for almost a minute straight. Even if I click a couple milliseconds late, I die, which is why this run ended up taking me 240 attempts. Now I only have 250 attempts left for day 1, and I decided to spend them by attempting a 57 to 100% run. Even though this run only adds on 3%, that 3% is the entire dual wave section. But surprisingly, I struggled a lot more on this run than I would have thought. You see, after pulling off the insane wave sections, I kept dying over and over in the final cube section. Hopefully I don't die there from 0, right? Hahaha. I ended up finally getting the 57 to 100% run around attempt 990, and not that long later, I hit 1,000 attempts, wrapping up day 1 of 9 circles. Going into day 2, my goal was to get at least 50% in normal mode, but after only 15 minutes, I passed the first ship and ball section, meaning I've reached the drop of the level. Surprisingly, I was able to hold my own for the first 5 seconds, but then died at 46%. But I didn't reach the drop again until 10 minutes later, where I was able to get a new best of 48%. Right now, I'm only at 100 attempts, attempts and I've already almost reached my goal of the day. I had a feeling that very soon I was gonna pass 50%. Well, about 10 minutes later, I reached the drop again, but this time I flawlessly flew through the first wave section and passed my previous record of 48%. Then I moved on to the upside down wave and easily completed it. Now I'm 60% in and I knew that this was a legendary attempt. So moving on to the mini wave, I tried to stay focused but was getting nervous and unfortunately died at 70%. At this point, I'm still only 200 attempts in for the day and I was starting to think to myself, wait, can I actually beat 9 circles today? I've already made so much progress in the first 200 attempts, so who knows what I can do in the last 800. But this is where everything started to go downhill. At first, I was struggling to get to 50%, but as time went on, I started playing worse and worse. A couple hundred attempts later, at around attempt 500 is when I started struggling to even get to the wave. Occasionally, I'd make it to the wave, but could never make any real progress. Once I reached attempt 800, my fingers were starting to hurt, and I was just cooked. So eventually, I hit 2,000 attempts, wrapping up day 2 of 9 circles. Going into day 3, I was dedicated to beat 9 circles. While doing a bit of practice mode to warm up, I was playing better than ever. So when I went into normal mode, it didn't take me too long to reach the wave. I easily passed the first few wave sections, and I soon entered the mini wave, and I was like, wait, this is actually a good attempt. Lock in. And I locked in and passed my previous record of 70%. Then I entered the upside down mini wave, and my heart started beating really fast. I somehow passed the upside down mini wave and the dual mini wave, entering the final cube section. No. So I went into practice mode and practiced the final cube section until I completed it 3 times in a row. Then only on my 3rd attempt in normal mode, I got the legendary run. I beat it 9 circles! It's finally done! Is it over yet? Complete 100 demons and fire starter, reach path fire rank 3, 2,540 attempts, 100 demons, man. What a journey. That was episode 5 of my Geometry Dash 100% series. In the next episode, I attempt to create a rated level. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it. In the meantime, watch one of these videos on screen. They're fire.